Hi, I'm Scott Hazeldine, PGA professional, and I'm here with David Blackshear, the inventor of the Sound Swing augmented kinematic feedback device. David, how are you doing, sir?
Very good. That's easy
It's
for you
great
to
to
say,
see
Scott.
you. Yeah.
Good to see
Tell
you.
us a little bit about how this device helps you in your motion learning, and it translates to you quicker than any other training aid on the market.
Well, first of all, you hit the nail on the head when you said motion learning, Scott. And of course, this little short segment is a precursor to Scott's training method, which I think is tops, probably the best use of visualization and motion learning through application of kinematics that I've seen out there. And there's a lot of devices, as you know, Scott, that people have come up with. Some of them are good for training aids, but a lot of them can actually be detrimental to what you're trying to accomplish.
Right.
Here we're trying to make something that is very intuitive through using tone frequencies that actually relate to joint angles of your body, Scott Hazeldine's body, not Dave Blackshear's, but so that you can repeat or replicate the correct motion as taught by you in your method, and learn it with efficiency on the range, and actually it will translate into the golf swing, and you can take it to the course.
Right. And this is what's so fantastic about it, is that it doesn't interfere with what you're doing. It doesn't restrict any action. It allows you to just create the right signature for your swing for the best results, have the knowledge of results through using the device, and go out there and play with it on, or practice with it on, or use it in your home or in your office. Now, David, there's a lot of buzzwords out there that we hear, one of them being motion, or not motion memory, but actual muscle memory. Now, we both know that isn't what happens. Tell us why.
Well, unfortunately, it's a misapplication of terms, Scott. The muscles actually have no memory.
Absolutely.
The motion memory that we're referring to is actually a translation through the proprioceptors in the body.
Okay. And those proprioceptions are the nerve endings that actually exist in the muscle.
Exactly.
Yep.
That enable you to find a place in space without any reference to it. It's innate. For an example, when you're walking downstairs very quickly, then you don't think about putting one foot in front of the other. If you did, you'd actually fall down the steps.
Sure.
It becomes natural.
Right.
And if you run down the steps, the same thing. Or you try to eat, when's the last time you poked yourself in the face with your fork?
That's one of my favorites. Yeah, I use that all the time. And reach toward the hole. Okay. And reach toward the hole. Okay. And reach. Okay. Notice there's no tone change here at all. This is perfect. Good. The beautiful thing about this is you don't have to try to make a bad stroke for it to work. You can go ahead and do the stroke correctly. You get the right tone, and you know that's what you want to continue to do. So see, this is an error correction. So you've just created a motion program that's very similar to how you would play guitar. Once you learn what the notes are, all you have to do is get that correct sound, and when you put them all together, you become an artist. Okay. So it's all about the distance. And what you're able to do is you're able to trust your stroke now, because you know your mechanics are correct. And you can lock into how far am I hitting this putt, what does the speed of the putt look like, as opposed to trying to error correct on the fly or say, oh, is this enough or is that enough, or am I on line right or am I left? We know the direction's going to be there by the way you set up, and so all you have to do is focus on the distance. So now I've got a grouping of the golf balls together, no tonal change. So I matched my stroke up, and now I was able to focus on my distance, and I got it in a fairly tight grouping to where I can place that anywhere around the hole,
Right.
and I'm never going to be more than 3 feet away, and of course I stand up there and I knock those 3-footers in all day long. Okay? Great.
The concept here is once we create a motor program using the augmented kinematic feedback, Scott, then when you take it to the course, when you go to the course, then you can actually recall these motor programs unconsciously. So you can now do what?
And you can let it go. You don't have to try to control it, and you don't have to fight for some elusive feeling that maybe you had one day that's now gone. Because now it's an effortless motion that happens every time, and you can find it every time.
Exactly.
And the thing about it, proprioception and the way our muscles work, is that when they're working together and they're the most efficient, there's no torque within the muscles. And so when you hit a great shot, you feel nothing. Well, all this time and effort that you spend on the driving range trying to get the feel of the right motion isn't really what happens when you hit that great golf shot. And so you need a device that tells you when in fact you're doing it right. Tell me if this hasn't happened to you before, and that's you get up and you hit a shot and you said, where in the world did that come from? Because you didn't have an idea.
Or conversely, you hit a bad shot and you thought you did exactly the same motion, but it produced different results.
Right.
So the knowledge of results that you referred to is how you relate back to the correct motion tone signature, and that's how the motor programs are created. But you know, there's one other thing that you and I have talked about before, and that's
What's that?
Practice.
Yep.
You know, you've heard practice, practice, practice. Most people won't practice, unfortunately, and it's the only way you can ever improve is through practice. We feel like this device will make practice more entertaining. It will make the game enjoyable, like playing the game.
Right. It allows you to accomplish what you've never been able to accomplish before. It puts a fun factor, an excitement factor in what you're doing, because you can expect consistent, predictable results through this.